Pretty dark in here. Yeah, it's good enough. Been in the barn a while.
Think so. Ain't that long.
I don't know what all that is. It's like sawdust.
Maybe that's where they built nests and stuff.
First time out of the barn in 8 years. Been here a little in the front. Gonna load it in the truck. Well, made it home with it. I think it'll clean up okay. The worst thing I've seen is just the fact that the front bumper is pushed in and this is bent down. And then this is cracked. But it's not split out bad enough that it's going to be too tough to fix. Tires seem to be holding air. They're not terrible. I don't have a ton of tread, but a little bit oily looking. It's filthy from sitting. It's supposedly sit for about 8 years. For sure 6, but the guy I bought it from thinking more like probably 8. Been in the barn. It's a true barn find, I reckon. The muffler looks okay. I don't think it's rubbed through like a lot of them are. Maybe a little oil around this rear brake hub. A little bit of mud. Looks maybe over full on oil. I did pull the pull start once and it spun right over. Spark plug looks pretty new. I don't know if that's good or bad. It was supposed to have ran when parked. And I know the guy, so I don't really expect he's lying about it. I'm not totally sure what year this is. There's a sticker here. But it doesn't show the year, I'm sure. It's marked on the frame somewhere, stamped in, but I always have a hard time remembering where those stamps are at on different machines. These have front drum brakes. I don't think the rear brake is really working too much because the parking brake didn't seem to do much. I've got the seat, it looks pretty good, but everything's just dirty and moldy from sitting. I got a little dry rot in the tires, but slime will fix that if that's leaking. Well, I'm gonna get it unloaded and I think I'll get the pressure washer out because there's no point working on it that filthy. I know I'm probably gonna get it going, so might as well start with the making it look a little better. Here's the seat. You can see it's just kind of moldy looking on top, but maybe a little degreaser and pressure washer should peel that right off, I hope. All right, we're gonna get started cleaning this thing up soon. It's a pretty straight old Bayou. I'm not sure what year it is yet. I need to find the VIN. I may have mentioned that already, but just wanted to give a good look at it now that all the dirt's off of it. So I'm hoping to probably get it running first, or at least hear it run. I like to pull this bumper back out some. I'd like to bend this back up close to straight if we can. That will make it look a little better. And then we'll just kind of have to see what it needs once I get it running and maybe ride it just to see what we're looking like. I'll probably have to order a carb kit, but we'll find out about that. I think I'll start with taking the carburetor off. It does seem to pull over and have compression, so that's good. Full start works good. I may put the jump box on it first and just hit it with a little shot of brake clean or something, just to hear it pop off one time before we dig into it. But pretty solid little machine. I think it'll clean up and be all right as long as it runs good. So let's go ahead and get started on it. All right, we got my NOCO hooked up, so let's go ahead and see if we can turn it on. I don't think it's sensing the battery because it's totally dead. So I'm in the bypass mode. We've got a neutral light, that's good. Let's see if it cranks over. It does crank. It's a little slow. Let's give it a shot of that, try it. Yeah, it's gonna run. It's gonna run. I think I just need to go ahead and pull the carb now. I just wanted to hear it run. I usually use brake parts cleaner instead of starting fluid. It's usually kind of handy around here. I'm pretty fond of it, even though it's a little bit expensive to use. It's nice for drying up oil and stuff. And I always get the flammable kind because it's dual purpose. Okay, well, I think we got something to work with here, so we'll go ahead and I don't think there's any use trying to start it, because I know for sure it's been sitting at least 6 years. Yeah, and the tank's empty, so the needle valve's probably leaking. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the carburetor off, and we'll see what we're working with. Get the air box out of the way first. See if this comes out. Yeah, I think it was already part way off the carburetor, so I don't know if that's good or not. Okay, there we go. Looks pretty clean in the carburetor, so I don't think it's been eating too much dirt. We'll get it off now. Really tight in there, so I didn't show taking this off, but I mean, it's clean inside, so I don't think it's been eating a bunch of dirt really. I'm gonna scrub the outside of this and try to clean it up before I take the bowl off some, and then I'll try to show you all when I take the bowl off. All right, cleaned up pretty good. Just a little bit of a wire brush and some, I used gas, and then I finished it off with brake clean. That bolt was real loose, so was that one. Somebody may have been in this carburetor, maybe that's why they parked it. He seemed to think it was running when it was parked, but that's been a while, so maybe he forgot why they parked it. gasket seems stuck pretty good, so maybe it hadn't been off for a while. Try not to tear it if I can keep from it. Oh yeah, it's pretty bad. It's really bad. You can see the junk in there. It's just green from the ethanol gas. You can see even the towel is green, and this is green with black varnish like stuff all over it. I knew it'd been sitting for, at least 6 years, so figured there was no need in trying to start it without taking the carburetor off. You kind of just end up wasting your time. So we can go ahead and start cleaning on this. I've been cleaning on this bowl for a second, so just so y'all can see, this is the kind of junk that's coming out of it. It's just black globs of stuff. It's kind of like tar. You can see it kind of mashes flat, like bubble gum or something. That ethanol gas is terrible. Well, that was bad. You can see I had to pick all this black stuff out of there. So now I can try to get the main jet out. I know it's clogged up. And let me get some pliers. I don't know if these are big enough. I might just have to pull that out and put it in the vise. Keep from stripping it out. I can put some pressure on it that way. But this is the emulsion tube. This is the main jet, and of course, can't see anything through there. It's just clogged up. No daylight coming through the middle of that. This is terrible. Can maybe see the chunks on that. Same on this. I'm gonna get the rest of this cleaned up and we'll put it back together. Alright, I've probably been working on this about an hour. This is one of those carburetors that, truth be told, I mean, you can probably buy a new one for less than 30 bucks or right around $30. I don't know that it's worth your time cleaning one. I know it'll be a Chinese knockoff. This is a Mikuni genuine, but I'm telling you, this thing was gummed up bad. Everything that the gas was touching, from the float down pretty much. But I got it cleaned up pretty good. I'm going to put the bowl back on, and then we'll see. I'll probably have to put a little gas in the tank and check for fuel flow. The needle valve actually has a metal tip. It's not rubber, and it just seats in the brass insert there. And so we'll see. Maybe that will still work. So I'm going to go ahead and put the bowl back on and get the carburetor reinstalled, and then we'll see if we've got good fuel flow from the tank. Alright, I'm going to turn the petcock on reserve, that's the position it was on when I picked it up. So the tank looks pretty empty, so it probably drained everything over time. But maybe you can see how varnished those drops look. I'm gonna put a little gas in it, and then we'll turn it back on and see what see if we can flush it just a little before we hook it back up to the carburetor. All right, let's try again. Well, thought we were going to get somewhere, but the petcock could be kind of gummed up. Getting little spurts. Maybe I didn't put enough gas in it. Let me try again. I should have had plenty of gas in it. Okay, that looks clean. And the petcock's working. Good. I'm gonna hook that back up to the carburetor and put the jump box back on it, and we'll try to start it. I think it should run. I'm gonna give it a little choke. It should start, I think. Try a little shot of this. Got a little choke on. Sounding pretty good after sitting for that long. Burning off all the moisture on the exhaust. I think when it warms up a little, it should idle. Probably also with the air box on, it'll help it idle. Black smoke looks like. Choke's off now. I'd say it needs to run and get some heat in it and burn off everything that's been sitting in there for 6 or 8 years. Sounding good though. Smoke's already calming down. It's real humid like today, everything's sweating, so I think that's what that steam out the exhaust mostly is. Well, it's supper time, so I'm gonna shut this off and go eat, and then I'll come back and we might be able to see if this thing will move tonight. Sounding good though, sounding real good. If the needle valve seals, might not have to buy anything for the carburetor since the gasket's held up. Good deal. Let's see how good it starts real quick. Oh yeah, just touch it and it starts. I think we're gonna be all right. Now that we know it runs, and I'm gonna have to wait on a few parts. I'm gonna see about this rack. I don't know what it's gonna take to bend it. What's that look like? It's a lot better for sure. Yeah, I'm almost thinking. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Oh yeah, we can live with that. Now I just need to pull the front bumper forward. But that right there looks a lot better. I just used a crowbar. And it was trying to flip the four-wheeler over, so I had to stand on the wheel. But it's all right, we got her straightened out pretty good. Looks a lot better. Well, I got the bumper pulled back out pretty straight. You can see this bracket, you know, it's pretty straight now. This bolt goes through. And this one should be too once I get it back together with the bolt. It's close to both the headlights, kind of how it's supposed to be. I don't think it's perfect, but with this rack bent up and the bumper pulled back out, it looks pretty good. Kind of have to resituate some plastic. Not too big a deal, I hope. Yeah, it's looking pretty good though, as far as the rack and bumper. Well, I ran out of daylight for a proper ride yesterday, so see if we can take it out real quick. Still got a little daylight left, just got home from work, and we'll give it a quick ride and see how it runs. Y'all can't make too much fun of me though, I'm a little bit big for it. Well, as y'all can see, the first little test ride went good. It's a little bit lean without the air box on it. Kind of wants to spit and pop just a little bit, but when I get my air box and a new air filter on it, that'll restrict it enough that it draws a little more fuel and gets a little less air. So it should put the mixture back where it should be. Clutch and everything worked good. The engine has pretty good power. It's way too small for me. It wants to push when I try to turn, and I just can't believe how easy the front end comes up. I know these things are light, but it's a little worse than some other, 250-ish cc machines that I've spent some time on. So, but it's not made for somebody as big as me, really. It'll be pretty nice for somebody more suited for it. I did get the bumper pulled back out pretty good. I need to get a bolt in here, and I did go ahead and put some push pins in there that was kind of separated. Plastic doesn't fit perfect there, but it's pretty good. It's going to be good enough because it's still got this crack and stuff here. I don't think I'm going to mess with the crack. It's really solid. I mean, it's going to take a lot to continue that. The plastic feels pretty rigid on this thing, and it's not that noticeable, so I'm just going to leave it alone. With that said, I'm going to shut the video down here. I've got to get some parts for it. Need a battery, air filter, oil filter, and do an oil change. And I think I'm going to go ahead and do the rear axle seal and bearing and brake shoes on this side, because all this stuff has been covered in oil and the rear brake doesn't work at all. And then after that, probably go ahead and I'll probably have to drain the differential oil, and then whatever's left of it and then top it back up with some new gear oil, and it'll be ready to ride. Basically runs good. So that'll be the end of this video, and y'all check back and we'll finish this thing up, maybe go for a little bit better test ride.